Do you feel trapped in your gaming setup? You find yourself sitting down to do work and just can't? You're constantly distracted by your lights, video games, and all kinds of different notifications. That was me last month. I was notorious for procrastinating on important projects and different things that I was working on, and I'm sure you can relate. But I really got tired of it. To reach my goals as a content creator, gamer, and streamer, I really had to change something up. That's why today I'm building a productivity setup, and I'll walk you through the entire build start to finish, and by the end of it, you'll understand how to escape your gaming setup and optimize it for getting done. Let's get started. To start building this setup, I had to clear off space out of my desk. I used this as a filming studio, so a lot of my products that I had that I were going to be reviewing or things like that that were up and coming projects, I left on this desk, and it kind of just seemed bad for my stream background. This desk was sent out to me a while ago by FlexiSpot, and I actually replaced the countertop. I actually replaced it with is fully custom. It has my logo in it, and it has the same burns as my main setup desk. The reason I did this is because I wanted the aesthetic to stay the same throughout the entire room. All the same wood countertops and all the same similar colors. I even custom made my logo in the middle of this desk, which is so cool, and I feel like it just adds a unique touch. For starters, I needed to get rid of everything off the desk and also give it a good clean. Once that was done, I had to unbox a couple different things that I bought for the productivity setup. The first item is a Cable Creation 7-in-1 USB Type-C hub, and honestly, it's going to be great for connecting everything together. Let's talk about how I'm going to mount my monitor. Since I can't wall mount because the pegboards are in the way, I decided to opt for an actual monitor mount that clamps to your desk. And this one is actually motorized, so it allows you to do 360 motion in any way you'd want as long as the cables are long enough. The monitor mount that I bought even has a cable management routing system that you can unscrew, put all the cables through, and make it look clean and minimal. In this case, I only ran the power cable through, and there's a reason why, and I'll tell you later. Then, with the help of my cousin, I mounted my old Alienware monitor that I had on the side of my desk before to this productivity setup. Now that the monitor was mounted, it was time to set up the Mac side. I didn't want one of those cheesy laptop stands, and honestly, I wanted something a little bit more minimal, and this one by Human Centric is actually perfect. They have great branding, and honestly, for a small company, this is a great product. Quality is so nice, you can literally even hear me say, "Ooh, this thing is nice." I'll leave it in the description if you guys want it for yourself, but yeah, it's pretty great. Now it was time to mount the hub on the back of the monitor. This is to connect the MacBook to the actual monitor and have a bunch of peripherals plugged into this hub, like my Magic Mouse, my keyboard, etc. But there was one slight issue. The problem was that the hub on the back of the monitor was too short to reach to the MacBook. Although I made it work, it made the MacBook way too intrusive on the actual monitor space. At the time of this recording, I don't have the cables, so I had to order it overnight on Amazon, so that'll be fixed soon. Once everything was mounted on the back of the monitor, it was actually time to just plug everything in and make sure it works. Once everything was plugged in and it worked, now it was time to basically set up all the rest of my peripherals. I know I might get some hate in the comments for this one, but the Magic Trackpad is actually one of the best things I've ever used, especially since I loved editing on the actual Mac's trackpad. And now that I have a version of it that I can just use as a regular mouse, this makes it feel amazing. Zooming in and out on my timeline on Premiere Pro and also going through my social medias has never been easier with this mouse. Let's talk about my keyboard. Keyboard of choice was the DZ60, but as I went to go set it up, I accidentally popped a stab on the spacebar, which I'm going to have to fix. For the meantime though, I pulled out my Icky 68 from a drop a while back, and I honestly kind of like this keyboard a little bit more than my DZ60. The switches are ink yellows and they're lubed with 205 grade 0. The mousepad of choice in this setup is Adrenaline Swirl. If this is your first time watching me on YouTube and you haven't heard of me before, I run a full-blown desk accessories business. I sell mouse pads and phone cases, controller skins, all of that, and I make them match each other. Recently, we also dropped space bars, and that's why I'm using the color combo on my keyboard and my mousepad. Let's talk about the beast running this entire setup. This is my M1 Mac, and honestly, I love this thing. It is the 16-inch 2021 MacBook Pro with the M1 chip. It's 16 gigabytes of RAM, and honestly, I have noticed no lag on the timeline. I cannot stress enough how good the Mac OS is for content creators. The ability to airdrop TikToks back and forth, share information with others, and also the flow of productivity on Mac is just unmatched compared to anything else. Moving on from the Mac though, I also wanted to make this space very good looking from afar, especially on my stream where I have my camera on a wide angle lens and you can see the back of my setup. I didn't want this to just be a storage area. I've been using Govee products in my entire setup since pretty much day one, and I decided to add some more Govee light bars. I decided to put this right above the pegboard because on my stream background, you can slightly see it and it just adds a little bit more light in an area that was too dark. While doing this though, I accidentally put them on backwards and I thought I messed up big time. Lucky enough for me though, the Govee light bars actually use Velcro, and so you can take them off as long as you mount them to the wall into the right place the first time. If you need to remove a dead piece or anything like that, all the 3M is Velcro, so you can just pull it off, leave the 3M in the spot, and then, you know, put it all back together. Luckily, I was able to flip it back around where I needed it, and it worked out great. After I was getting close to done, I realized that the setup didn't have enough life. There wasn't enough plants or anything like that. So I decided to get a full tall standing plant. I got this from IKEA for about $30 to $40-ish, and it really adds so much life to my setup. And I feel like it just makes it more homey, I guess. And for the moment you have all been waiting for, the reveal. If you enjoyed that video, watch this one next, and don't forget to follow the Twitch down below. See you there.